All right, and we are back with our next segment here. We're talking Charlotte Sand's latest EP, known as Love and Other Lies, as part of our episode 137 podcast called The Dosage here. Live with iRob, live with Justin. Welcome back, guys. How you guys doing tonight?
Good now.
Awesome.
Way different than I was 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, same. Emma says, hola. Ty says, music. Emma has arrived. Orochi liked the PS up to PS2. Then after that, they switched to the 360. So we were talking gaming. We got more gaming talking in our main theme here later on tonight. I'm excited to share some of that stuff with you. But first, let's talk music. So, Justin, you picked this album for us to discuss. Tell us a little bit about this artist in the background and why you decided this was the album to talk about this month.
Yeah, so, I was looking at new stuff that was coming out, and I think it had popped up on my release radar through Spotify. So she was featured in a song with Taking Back Sunday in the main called Love You a Little, which is not on this album. But I was just, when I heard it, I was just thinking, I should really just, and I do that a lot, where if I see multiple artists are featured in a song, I just check into them a little further. And I looked into her further and noticed that she released an EP like maybe a few days before that, or a week before I had found that song. And I was like, wow, she's put new stuff out there. And kind of in that pop, kind of alt pop range. We haven't really done one that's, I would say, this poppy before. So I just thought it was just a different take, and she's kind of an up and coming artist, obviously still releasing EPs, so no like full length album yet. So I just thought it would be interesting to do that take, and one of her songs is very topical with this theme of inclusion.
You know, it's funny too, was that intentional or accidental?
So honestly, it was accidental at first, because it was just one that I before you even mentioned the theme, I believe I had just put that out there, and then you said, well, our theme's going to be this, and I went, well, that works out excellent. So yeah, it was meant to be.
I wanted to really challenge us on this theme too, because I couldn't decide, to be fully honest. February, love stories, but on the other hand, it's like, well, it's a great month too to showcase representation and things, because they only are getting like properly, I guess, that month when it should be all year, but that's another soapbox. But at least something, right? So I wanted to have us bring this up, and representation goes on many different levels, of course. It's not just skin color or things like that. There's various elements of representation. So I'm curious, too, on your thoughts. And then you, too, iRob. This is out of the element for genre for you.
Yes. So I can go into, I did take the time and listen to the entire 35 minutes of this EP.
35?
What?
I thought it was only like 20 minutes long.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
I'm like, wait, did I review the right one?
So just my take on just general, her lyrical writing, if you actually like sit down and like, I had mine up so I could read the lyrics while she was saying it. It's actually really good writing. Like, the lyrics in the songs are really well written. And then my thing was like, this is definitely not in my alley. If you would give me, I would never have listened to this. But it's not bad. Like, it's not bad. I can appreciate a lot of different stuff, and I can tell you after it on there, I kept 3 of the songs on my phone. So
wow, okay,
pretty good. It's pretty good odds for an EP.
Yeah, there's 7 tracks on this, I think.
Yeah, so 3 out of the 7 passed the cut and didn't get deleted back off the phone.
Okay. Yeah,
so I mean, it's doing better than some of the CDs that I like. So there you go.
My man said CDs. You could tell our age now.
Oh, not bad. Nobody buys CDs anymore. You just buy singles. So
that's true.
I just stream everything. I don't buy anything.
Yeah, I stream it. Yeah, I don't purchase anymore. I pay for a subscription. But yeah, I mean, I also I did 3 songs I liked, and then I picked out a dislike from this one too. Out of curiosity, what were the 3 songs then, Rob?
So my favorite song on it was "Every Guy Ever." It's just straight like pop punky, so I kind of like goes a little more into rockish, like old Blink kind of ish vibe for it. So I like that one. My second favorite was actually the title track, "The Love and Other Lies." Just kind of acoustic and soft, and the lyrics in it are really good. Like if you listen to it. And then the last one that passed it was a "Bad Day," and that was just it's super catchy, like almost annoyingly catchy, but it made it past, so it's in there.
Okay. I was just curious. Any one that you just would skip over? I know you said you removed 4, but like, what's the one you would just like?
The only one, and like I said, a lot of them were okay, but track number 4, the "Dress," literally my only comment on it was meh.
Okay.
Like, so that was the worst of it. But like I said, none of it was horrible. If it my way I described it, and because Amy sits in the same room with me when I'm doing a lot of this, was it's something she would like, and if she put it on in the car, I wouldn't tell her to turn it off. So,
okay, fair. I knew too when if you were going to listen to it, even I knew I was like, this is not an iRob album. This is not. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed that you took the time. I'm impressed that you enjoyed some of it. So that's okay. I'm surprised.
like I said, it's not bad. The best I can say is that, like, I definitely, if it would have been just me perusing stuff, never would have popped on the radar for anything. But I'm not disappointed in it. Like, I don't feel like I wasted a half hour of my life. So.
Okay, fair. I listened to it a few times. I even hooked it up to my drums and I played along with some of it because, as you mentioned, the pop punk and the pop beats, it's fun to play along on drums. So I enjoyed a lot of the stuff for that. Despite enjoying a lot of it, one of the tracks you liked, the title track, "Love and Other Lies," I didn't like that one. I found that one boring. Lyrically fine, and I get that it's a meaningful track and the pains of growing up, right? And the stuff that you go through. To me, that's what the lyrics meant. Maybe my interpretation's off, but sometimes it can be subjective, obviously, too. But that's how I got out of it. But the song was boring to me, and that's fine. It fits what they were trying to say, I guess, if you will. The lyrics.
So you think they were aiming to make a boring song? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I think sometimes subtlety and acoustic portrays a specific message. We've talked about on the music podcast before where sometimes you can write this crazy, happy, upbeat song, but have it be about terrible things. And sometimes you can be surprised by that. But this one is fitting of the nature of the music. The lyrics match the tone is more so what I'm implying here. And while it's fine, the lyrics are stronger than the song itself was. And that's why if I were to dislike anything off the album, which there's not much to dislike in all honesty, that's something I would have to pick as a dislike. So that's almost saying I'm praising this entire EP, if you will. I did like Dress. You said you didn't like Dress. I thought it was a really addicting groove to it. I thought it was fun. The only thing I could critique on it was the lyrics on this, while strong in other tracks, were somewhat generic for this one. But Dress was fun. Great groove to it. Every Guy Ever was fantastic. Probably the standout on the album. Great pop song, upbeat, variety to it. Lyrically, probably accurate. We're men here. I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong. But the lines.
Let's just be honest. It's fine.
I'm quoting. "He'll be mad the second that he don't know where you are, but he'll make out with a girl in the back of a bar. But he says you're a mess when you're sleeping around, manipulating bullshit." Obviously not in the same pentameter as the song itself. Let her do it best. But I thought that was clever, and like, it's probably accurate. Let's just throw that out there. It's probably accurate.
Well, you brought it up, and I said it, like, the lyrics that she wrote in it, like, almost every song, it's, like, well written. Like, it's not just generic what you normally see for pop stuff, where somebody wrote and they just repeat the same 5 words for 2.5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, she tells a great story with the tracks, and the Every Guy Ever was a standout. Another standout for me was the other one I wanted to highlight before we'll shift it over to the man that picked the album. Bad Day. Like the line, the world is ending, but at least I'm trending. I thought that was kind of a unique take on things. Fun song explaining having a bad day. And remember what I said about upbeat, happy song? Well, lyrically, this one isn't the happiest of songs, hence the title of it, Bad Day, right? You wouldn't think it'd be like, yay, bad day. But there is a sense of sarcasm on it, which I enjoyed too. Justin is a aficionado of sarcasm, so I'm sure he appreciated it as well. And there's even this like trap music, like hip hop section breakdown, just for like a split second. It goes into this little break. And then ultimately, depression's a bitch. That's really to talk about the conclusion of this song. But Bad Day is another fun one. So Every Guy Ever and Bad Day, to me, the top standout tracks. Dress was also fun. But overall, if you got 20 minutes, listen to this album. Truly. Charlotte Sands, Love and Other Lies.
I just want to point out, like, for us, we each picked 3, and 2 out of 3 for each of us are the same. And then each song that we didn't like, the other person did.
Well, right. We're each going to have different tastes. I'm surprised you liked anything, so I'm just throwing that out there again.
Yeah, right. That's pretty good.
Well, Justin, I'm curious. You picked it.
All right. I'm hopping aboard the train here. Love and Other Lies. Not a big fan.
What?
So, that track.
Okay, I thought you meant the album. I'm like, wait a second. You can't do that. You gotta specify.
Like Rob said. So, lyrically, it's a great song. But compared to the rest of it, where they're all kind of catchy or upbeat, or, it just it was a little boring, like you said. That's all I can really say. So that would be my one really skip this of the album. As far as favorites, Bad Day, as you mentioned, as you both mentioned, and then Every Guy Ever, you both mentioned. So what I do have that you both didn't have is I Want You Like That. Really like that song, really catchy. Again, just I think that was one that popped up on my release radar too, and that kind of made me look into her some more.
What track number was that? Sorry to cut you off. Was it the first one? Okay, because I originally, if it was the first track, I originally had that on my top 3, and then I bumped it for Dress.
Bumped it.
Because I liked Dress just a little more because it was a little different than Every Guy Ever and Bad Day, and I didn't want to be like samesies. I like it all for the same reasons, so I wanted a sense of variety. Go on, though. Sorry.
Yeah, so then, like you said, with Dress. So, along the topic of inclusion, so this basically was a song, just to give you some background, was a song that she wrote based on the fact that she saw Harry Styles on the cover of a magazine wearing a dress. It's that straightforward. She's just basically explaining, I don't know why I'm attracted to you in a dress and with your fingernails painted, but I'm into it. And, in the world we live in today, where that's more open and accepted, she basically wrote a song about that, about a guy wearing a dress and why she's just drawn to that. And as far as her, like Gen Z fan base, and like early millennial, seem to be the people that are kind of on board with this. She got a lot of flack for writing that song because, people think it's promoting the wrong things, but really it's just, around that topic of inclusion of, this is what I'm seeing. For some reason I'm attracted to it. I'm going to write a song about it. And she got a lot of support from a lot of people that she wasn't expecting. She kind of wrote it on the whim.
Soapbox moment. If that offends you, you're a freaking idiot. So there you go.
No. I mean, everyone has a right to their own. We got Ty here with the screen. Everyone has a right to their own opinions. Does not make them right, though. So we got to have inclusion on all grounds that everyone can be included with their opinions. They just will ultimately look a certain way because of them. So we can't.
I don't have to say I like it.
We can't be hypocritical now. We're
I can tell
praising
them
inclusion. We're going to include them too. But again, we don't have to agree or even give it substantial support by any means.
Travis is moderator.
Let's keep this thing focused. You get
So,
2 minutes
Dress,
now.
So Dress was one of my top tracks as well. So I know I listed 4 there. But still, I really enjoyed it. I was surprised to find that I enjoyed as much of it because, I mean, when I first heard it, I was thinking, oh, this is kind of giving me early Paramore vibes. And, but a little more poppy. And I like pop. I like rock. I love punk. And I mean, it's all of that. There are some, like you said, more songs that sound more pop punk to the point where you wanted to drum along to them. I mean, I think that says a lot. So, it's just a really solid EP, and I look forward to her putting out more stuff and seeing lyrically what she can put out there, because it's not just manufactured stuff just to make a radio hit.
It didn't sound the cookie cutter formula for radio stuff. I liked that it wasn't trying to be another band out there. And my understanding is she a solo act and she just has a studio band behind her. Like, who does the instruments, I guess, because anything I've seen is just been
she has a solo. Yeah, she has a solo act. I know she's currently touring with Young Blood, so I'm not sure if you're familiar with him or not, but similar kind of style of music, but more kind of rap, punk, rock kind of mix in there.
You say she's touring with Young Blood?
Yes.
Is she a UK act then?
No.
Where?
She is Boston.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because Young Blood is
I want to say, I think it's either Boston or Cleveland, but it's definitely like Midwest, East Coast.
Okay.
But yeah, I know for a fact it's U.S.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, because he's the UK act. I am familiar with him. I've checked out a lot of his stuff. He's done a lot of collaborations with so many artists, including MGK, Bring Me the Horizon. I mean, the list goes on. The dude's collaborated with so many people now.
It's kind of a modern face for that style now.
Yeah, and he's all over the place, too, for his own style. Yeah. Hopefully, we can come across one of his albums one time to review, because I'd love to check out more with more reason and then share that with you guys, too. But ultimately, that's your call. You'll be doing obviously our next pick every month. So, man, you found a good one here. So this... I don't have a final score for it. We're the formalities of our old format or anything, but I have the heavy recommendation of you should check this out. Again, it's 20 some odd minutes. Like, if you don't have 20 minutes to listen to an album, like, you could throw that on and when you drive to the gas station and listen to this album. So,
I mean, Rob saved 3 songs.
Me, it's not even like I said. If I was been looking through to pick stuff out, never would have picked it up. But actually, it was good. Like. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, spot on stuff. Any other thoughts? Do you have something lined up for our next one? Do you want to give us a hint, or do you?
No, I don't have one lined up yet, but okay. I'll be looking to see what's coming out because, I mean, there seems to be kind of a resurgence lately of bands putting out albums over the last couple months. Now that we're now people are like starting to tour again and create new music. Now that COVID cases are hopefully going down, and tours are getting rescheduled.
And everything that they recorded when they couldn't do anything else.
I was going to say they had time to not tour and focus on writing. So hopefully this next year, we're starting to see it. Hopefully that means this next year or two we're going to have some amazing tours and amazing albums coming out because people had probably literally nothing to do but focus on content writing. And sometimes when you're on the road and doing all that stuff, you're pressured into that next album, that follow-up hit. And it's generally not as good as that first one that you might have done. So hopefully the focus is here, and we're going to see that on these albums.
Yeah, and we don't get the garbage of, like, songs where you say you're going to beat up Pete Davidson, that kind of stuff.
Who's releasing? Is that Kanye? Or no, is it what is his name? Ye now? It's just Ye, right?
I don't know.
I can't keep up with Kanye. That's your next
Me either.
reality show.
I just saw a video of someone going like, really? He went from putting out this quality stuff, because I mean his early stuff is great. Like he's got some good stuff early on, very very good at the time. But now it's like these are the new tracks you're putting out. Like, ooh.
I mean, you can only create gold for so long.
Pete Davidson exactly what he wants. He wants to just piss people off.
Yeah.
So
what does Pete
really
Davidson do?
care.
Who is Pete Davidson? I've seen him. Obviously, he's done this stuff.
SNL.
Okay, because I know he's done this stuff with he hosted with Miley Cyrus. At
he's
New
the guy
Year's.
with the dyed blonde hair.
I know who he is.
Guy.
Yeah, I just don't know what he does. Like, why is he famous? So SNL makes sense.
Because he pisses people off, so they write diss tracks about him, and then he gets more money because people know his name.
Okay.
Yep.
I have a hard time keeping up or giving a shit about a lot of these celebrities, to be honest with you. So the older you get, the less shit you give about these people, especially because they're half your age. So,
Except for Kanye.
Well, but I mean, he's not even really relevant. He's relevant with what he did back then, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's wild. Here's the thing. They want more money, set up the next celebrity boxing fight between these two, and then somebody take a dive, and everybody tunes in, and then they all get paid. It's just the circle of fandom. We've seen it for years. Every washed-up celebrity eventually goes on a reality show or fights somebody, and then they get paid, and then they fade away into obscurity. It's just the circle.
And you just, do that sign.
Right. And it's done. Jesus. Batman says it's the Fifth Doctor. He says, oh, that's Peter Davidson. I've seen one episode. This is going to piss off some people, but I've seen one episode of Doctor Who in my life.
Hey, you want to know something?
You've never seen it.
You've seen one more episode than I have.
Yeah, I kind of figured that's where we're going. Justin, have you watched it? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. No. It's just I didn't think it's a thing for me. People
I've been,
it.
Knee deep in The Expanse.
I've wanted to watch that. Is that good?
Oh, I've been watching it for literally months now, because I started season 1 and it's through season 6, and they're 45-minute episodes. So
yeah. What's that on?
It's excellent. Prime,
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I just got to season 6, so I'm almost done. But
I'll have to bug Andrea's mom. She has Amazon Prime, so
it's really good.
I just started rewatching, and I haven't rewatched it in probably 8 or 9 years.
So all that stuff you order off the internet and you don't have Amazon Prime?
Dude, I've had to cancel so many things lately for budget reasons. So, but yeah, I don't have HBO anymore. I don't have Netflix anymore. But I just restarted watching Lost again, and immediately wanted to message you and conspiracy theory it all up again. So.
Oh man. Went way too deep into that.
You want to know how many episodes I've watched from beginning to end of Lost?
I had you watch some of it. Don't you say 0.
Okay, how many do I remember?
Probably none.
I know you're into it. I just TV, I never got big into any TV shows.
I don't get into a lot of TV either, but Lost, I mean, that was a cultural phenomenon. You can't recreate that time period again, that wait from week to week to unveil, and the season to season. You can't recreate that again. No show can do that.
Game of Thrones got close.
They got close, all the way
through.
That's it.
Firefly. There you go. That was the last TV show I watched all the way through.
Lana says, all jokes aside, I feel bad for Kanye. He needs help, and I hope he gets it. Yes, facts. If you need help or you know somebody that needs help, make sure they get it or find ways to. Please, that's serious. Ty says Kanye West boxing and some weird bag on his head that he deems high fashion is some Black Mirror stuff that I could see happening. Yeah, if anyone could pull it off, it'd be Kanye. Batman says, Rob, I knew that was coming. And Thunderbird said Lost was great show until ... Until what?
Writer's strike.
That didn't help the show. No, that did not help the show. It hurt a lot of things. And I think ultimately they had a direction for a story arc, and they didn't think it all the way through. And it shows.
They didn't get the time from ABC that they needed.
No, they didn't. It got rushed to end in season 6 when it needed one more season.
At least.
So, yeah. I don't know. Still one of my favorite shows, if not my favorite show of all time. As far as dramas, if you will. we could do a whole podcast series on that, but that's another.
So it's funny you mentioned that. If I don't know how far into it you are now, but I was watching The Expanse,
Mhm.
and I've seen people. I'm like, oh, I know him from something. Oh, he was the Dharma Initiative guy, the guy from the videos.
Yeah.
The Korean doctor, I believe. You know, talking about, and then Julia, or can't think, the blonde.
Hurley's girlfriend. No, that was
No.
somebody else. Julia was the doctor.
Yes,
Um,
yeah. So she's in it too. So I'm like,
the other love
it's
interest.
just weird to have these lost flashbacks. I'm like, what have you done since? I look them up on IMDb, and I'm like, oh, not much, or a lot of small roles here.
Yeah, I
and
was
there.
to say a lot of them have been in other TV shows or other small things that got canceled or didn't do well, small bit roles. Yeah. So it's unfortunate, but I mean, and then you had what's her name, Wasp from Ant-Man and Wasp. Like, she's done really well. So, which is surprising.
You don't remember her name?
What?
You don't remember her name?
I don't remember her. What? It's Kate.
Isn't it Evangeline Lilly?
Evangeline Lilly. Thank you. Yeah, it's Kate in the show. I'm terrible with names. I'll forget forever. But yeah, if you guys
don't ask me why I remember that one, but it's in my brain. I don't know.
I mean, I'll never forget her face. I mean that all sincerity. Like, I don't mean that weird. Like,
it got
real weird. Anyways, love stories, right? That's the theme. So we're waiting on Cody. He's part of our final segment. Before we transition to that, Justin, I doubt it, but maybe did you watch the Elimination Chamber?
No, I mean, if it was that difficult for Rob to locate, then I wasn't even going to try it.
It's not that hard.
It was the first thing under Elimination Chamber.
Oh, was it?
But because when you watch them on Peacock, they don't put the years until you start the show.
Right.
It just puts it in episode 1. You're like, well, that doesn't help me. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been my biggest critique since they moved from WWE Network to Peacock, is that because it's a television company, they put everything in season placeholders. Like, that's their filter. When, yes, WWE is seasoned, like this is season blah, blah, blah on a network perspective. For fans, we want to search by year. We don't know that 93 was season 1 of Raw. We want to go back to 93. You know, like if we want to find something in 99, we want to just search 99, not, well, shit, what is that? Season 6? Season 7? Like, I don't know. I just want to watch The Rock and Mankind from 1999. So
we were trying to do 2017, so I didn't think it would be the first one.
Right.
Yeah. So, like, I didn't start there. I went and I was, like, going back, and it got towards the first. I was like, oh, hey, there's 2017.
It's not though. It's like season 7 or 8 or something when you filter.
That's what I mean, but when you, like, if you just go in Peacock and cycle down to Elimination Chamber, it had Elimination Chamber matches. It was the first one was Elimination Chamber from 2017.
Right, when you filter it that way, yeah, that makes sense. Cody has arrived just in time for the segment we're talking about, so we're going to shift over, if you're ready, for our chamber segment. So give me a second here, and we'll set that up.